Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Iraqi dinar. I'm going to bring in some of yesterday's information, and then I'll probably do a second video to bring in today's information, because upon my review and attempts prior to this one that you're actually going to get to see, it's too much to put into one video. And so I'm going to talk about the Iraqi dinar and circumstances surrounding that. That seems to be by far of most interest to those who subscribe to my channel and those who view my channel and those who actually click on my channel, I guess, when they get impressions from YouTube. That being said, I hope that you like my videos. I hope that you subscribe to my channel. I hope that you share my videos for those of you who know others who may be interested in the topics that I discuss and cover, because this is, DK will talk about it. And for those of you who are returning again, thank you so much for coming back. I apologize. It's been a while since I did a video, probably about a week. But here we go, y'all. We're going to do this again. We're going to make another video. And DK will talk about it. We can't talk about anything until we check on something. Let's do that check. Check the mic and make sure it sounds right. Now, I do hope the mic sounds right, because here we go. We're going to cover some Iraqi news, like I mentioned from yesterday. And this one I found worthy of sharing because it talks about the debt load on Iraq. And, less debt, stronger country. Well, they've reduced it significantly. And you can see the financial advisor to the Prime Minister, Madir Mohammed Salih, revealed the volume of Iraq's remaining foreign debt while stressing that it has decreased significantly. Iraq's foreign debts have decreased significantly, and only less than $6 billion of the actual sovereign debt under the Paris Club Agreement, debts before 1990, remains, said Salih in a statement to the Iraqi news agency. $6 billion from a sovereign national level, especially when it produces oil, probably worth $6 billion in a day. That's nothing. So that's positive news. That's very good news for Iraq and their financial condition. Payment methods include installment payment with interest until maturity at the end of 2028, accompanied by commercial debts that were scheduled after 80% were discounted in 2006, and the remaining amount is $2.7 billion. Excellent news. Excellent news. He explained that the remaining amount has been scheduled and issued in a European bond to creditors since 2006 and was called Iraq 2028, and it carries an annual interest of 5.8% as the bond will be ended. He pointed out that foreign debt does not exceed $13 billion, which increased during the financing of the war of terror against the gangs of Daesh or ISIS after 2015 and Iran. There's a gradual payment mechanism for it, as allocations to extinguish it have been made within the annual general budget, stressing the allocation of more than 9 trillion dinars in the 2021 budget to extinguish debt services, and this will be the case in the 2022 budget. Of course, they speak their language in translation. Extinguish debt. We know what extinguish means. Get rid of it. And that makes anybody stronger when you get rid of your debt. So they're getting stronger as well. Moving on. This is also very interesting. This is information that came from Militia and Petra. And it talks about how the Arab Monetary Fund dispersed to the Arab Republic of Egypt the second tranche of the loan within the framework of the Structural Adjustment Facility in the public finance sector with an amount of Arab accounting dinar 665.775 million, the equivalent of approximately USD 282 million, to support reform efforts in the face of various challenges. And yes, I did the math. I see numbers, I can't help but do math, and it comes out to $4.29. So in other words, an Arab accounting dinar is the equivalent of $4.29. It's also equivalent to 3 units of special drawing rights, SDRs, as determined by the International Monetary Fund, which means to the dollar, the value of an SDR is $1.44. So when I did the math, that came out to $4.32, or 3 cents more than that $4.29. But 3 times, that's 3 pennies. So probably the price fluctuated since January 31st, 2021 by a penny. If that helps put things in perspective. Excuse me. Let's return. Okay. So it goes on to show what the AMF, the Arab Monetary Fund, is about. And I can let you know that primarily it's involving 22 different countries, all in North Africa and the Middle East, Saudi Arabia being included, Sudan, many of the countries across the northern portion of the African continent. For the sake of time, maybe I can. Maybe it'll let me look it up. Maybe it won't. I don't know. I've been searching, so maybe it's already in my search for all I know. Let's find out. It is not. Okay, but we can Arab Monetary Fund. I have bad hands, y'all. You gotta bear with me. I sliced a finger, been through microsurgery and everything. Arab Monetary Fund. There we go. Jeez. That was tough, wasn't it? Yeah, see, it's already purple because I've already been there. Okay, that's the page. That's not what I want to show you. This is what I want to show you. There it is right there, folks. These are the countries of the Arab Monetary Fund. All 22 of them. And this map shows where in our globe, on our globe, they exist. Thank you for your patience. But I think it's worth it. Okay. So, what I think about these tranches, you'll notice that it says here, they dispersed the second tranche of the loan on July 21st. This tranche must be the third one, which means there was a first one. And I remember Bruce talking about tranches of money being moved around. And I believe, folks, that all these conversations and narratives that are put before us and put in the publications and the news are all narratives to cover what must be occurring under the Gesara and Nasara. I believe that. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but it's a conspiracy until it's true. And in harmony with that, any who know me and have been part of the community that I tend to hang out with knows that I've been preaching cryptocurrency from the moment I showed up. And I always said that, cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, precious metals, and real estate are going to be the places to go with your money to survive what's coming. But here we can see that the Arab Monetary Fund published a strategy for adopting distributed ledger technology, blockchain technologies in Arab countries. Now, I want to highlight in here without reading this to you, because you can read while I talk as well. This is DK. We'll talk about it. Not DK. We'll read about it. Okay. I'll read some, but we're going to talk about it too. Distributed ledger technology is most certainly a Ripple, XRP type thing. And when I read portions of this, those of us who are involved with the cryptocurrencies, including primarily Ripple, which I believe is going to be the pipelines for all the money, you will notice that the language that Brad Garlinghouse speaks, and I have plenty of videos behind this, folks, I encourage you to go look at them, where they talk about XRP, where they talk about the advancement of the monetary system, the banks. I encourage you to look at them because this is a progressive thing that I'm doing here. So you get more out of it if you are watching each video as it comes out. But in any case, Now it's being pushed in the Arab Monetary Fund for the Arab countries. And they issued it in August. So this is not news, but it's news, okay? On August 17th of this year, strategies. They're putting it out now on things like this, and usually when they do that, even in August, that means they probably already had started because they don't like to look bad. And so they've already been doing this, folks, and now we are going into October in a new fiscal year. And so it's important that I think that my listeners understand, if you have not yet adapted your mentality, your money management of your lifestyles and your finances to incorporate and attempt to begin understanding cryptocurrencies and crypto wallets and things of that nature, I strongly encourage you to do so, because that's where things are going. And to add weight to who's involved with this, look at this list here, this boldface. It was prepared and reviewed by representatives of Arab central banks, the Arab Monetary Fund, Egypt Post, the Islamic Development Bank Group, the World Bank Group, the Karam Legal Consultants, members of the Arab Regional FinTech World Group, as well as experts for the Economic Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and the World Economic Forum. Folks, this is no small change. I used to try to encourage people to get into crypto a few years back, and this funny money. Oh, no. They have no idea how much money they could have made had they listened. I do. I'm not saying I'm rich or anything, but I know how much money could have been made. And now, it's all a conspiracy, folks, until it's true. But you can see here with your own eyes. Strategies for adopting distributed ledger technology, blockchain technologies in Arab countries. Iraq is an Arab country. Okay? And they are even announcing a memorandum of understanding with Visa. Now tie it all together, folks. Cross-border payments, that is the language of Ripple. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to read a paragraph, and those of us who are invested in Ripple will hear the language right here. The Arab Monetary Fund and Visa announced today the signing of a memorandum of understanding under the terms of this MOU. Visa and Buna, the regional payment platform owned by the Arab Monetary Fund, will set the foundation for mutual beneficial interoperability, Ripple word, and a solid partnership that aims to enable additional rails of money transfer, Ripple words, across the two systems, Ripple's mechanisms and goals and platform, supporting the growth and efficiency of cross-border payments, Ripple's words, between the Arab region and the rest of the world. It doesn't get any clearer than that for me, folks. And I hope it's the same for you. What else we got? Let's keep going, because I don't want my videos to be too long. You guys don't hang around long enough for me to talk this much. All right. Friday night, again, Frank wanted to post this information, which is good information because it talks about new instructions for buying and selling foreign currency for the year 2021 and the stability of the dinar exchange rate. Now, one must ask themselves a very, very important question in my mind. Why would they need to do this? The Central Bank of Iraq issued last week new instructions to banks and exchange companies in mediation in the sale and purchase of licensed foreign currencies, and externally, which leads to controlling and maintaining the stability of the exchange rate in compliance with the requirements of anti-money laundering and terrorist financing law. Folks, if that's not screaming international exchange, nothing is. Nothing ever will. But why would they need new instructions on the sale and purchase of licensed foreign exchanges, maintaining the stability of the exchange rate? I will answer that. There's no need to maintain the stability of the exchange rate in accordance with what they're saying here when it's pegged to the dollar. That's its stability when it's pegged to the dollar. It's no longer pegged to the dollar. And the sale and purchase of licensed foreign currencies. Okay, not the dollar. Not the dollar. All foreign currencies. Folks, things are happening. And you just have to have your eyes open to see them and to recognize that, making monetary changes like what we're going through here, and especially at global level of monetary changes, takes time. But if you position yourself ahead of it to benefit from it, you won't have much to say but hallelujah when it happens. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. More evidence. The economic conditions in crisis, the financial deficit, and the decline in the financial position of the public finances, which led to a change in the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar for the purpose of overcoming the above crises, with the central bank taking many measures and initiatives to stimulate the economy and revitalize the economic cycle, which contributed to the passage of 9 months after the exchange rate. I'm going to stop there for a minute. We remember about 9 months ago, it went from 1190, 1160, 1170 or so to 1460, 70, 1450, 60, 70, 80. There it was. Now, going on, it says, and that the rate of control is controlled exchange in the trading markets for about a month at the target rate of 1470 dinars against the U.S. dollar. Folks, it's been way longer than a month. They already talked about the 9 months. So what does that say to me? It's almost screaming a deadline, a timeline, not a deadline, that they're going to maintain this control for about a month at that 1470. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm seeing. And then it goes on to say, at the end of that month, basically, therefore, the new instructions regulate the process of selling foreign currency in the currency window, through which it will be implemented. It will be implemented to maintain the stability of the exchange rate, control the movement of foreign currency locally and internationally, and abide by international standards for compliance rules in combating money laundering and terrorist financing. It's screaming, we are sovereign and we are managing our currency against all the currencies of the world. They go on to say, we do not forget here how the dollar devoured the local currencies of neighboring and regional countries, which suffered from circumstances similar to that of Iraq, such as Iran, Turkey, Lebanon, and Syria, where their local currency collapsed in very large proportions, while the Iraqi dinar exchange rate stabilized within the target rate of the central bank, despite the speculation in the market. In order for economic analyses to be accurate and not extreme of the reality of monetary stability in Iraq and the effects of expected, read this again, and the effects of the expected economic, epidemiological, and expected shocks on the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. Expected shocks on the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. Folks, it's coming if it ain't already here. It's coming if it ain't already here. Because this article is not brand new. It's 2 days old. So they are getting ready, folks, for some shaking and jiving, international shaking and jiving with the monetary policy in their country for foreign exchanges. They are getting ready with the monetary fund to work within the interoperability of blockchain technology and distributed ledger technology. XRP screams XRP screams XRP. If you can get it, get it. You're going to be glad you did. This is not financial advice. It's strictly for entertainment purposes. I hope you're entertained, but please do it anyway. we are seeing the emergence of a fully formed Iraqi national economy. They are proud of what they have done and are doing, and they should be. And when it talks about down here how they witnessed the destruction of other local currencies by the dollar, I'm going to end this on this note and this thought because this DK will talk about it. That is how the old cabal system did their thing. Through the George Soroses, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds of the world. They were on both sides of every war created, people. They created war to cover over the failure of their fiat debt-based monetary system and give it a re-jump, a restart, a reset. In the meantime, they would depress the currencies of countries and basically emaciate them. And what would they do in the meanwhile? They would do what we stumbled into with the Iraqi Dinar. They would scoop up the cheap currency. They would rebuild the nation they destroyed, giving some philanthropy reason, some world peace reason, some we have to help our neighbors now that we remove somebody bad reason. And the somebody bad was probably somebody who was trying to do their own money the same way they're going after crypto now, but it's not going to work. You can't stop crypto. It's a revolution that's unstoppable. It's already on the train, and it's going to start bowling over people if they don't get out of the way. It's going to start bowling over nations if they don't get out of the way. It's going to happen. It's already here. I'm encouraging everybody. Get over your timidity and fear. Become familiar with cryptocurrencies, blockchain technologies, crypto wallets, because that's where money is going. That's where money is going. And so they destroy the currencies. They buy them up. And then they get rich. That's how they get rich. One of the ways they get rich, but one of the primary ways they get rich. Now, it's your turn. Now, keep in mind this, because I don't want to encourage improper desires. Because the love of money is the root of all sorts of injurious things. And by this love, many stab themselves over with many pains. Please don't go after it for the love of money. If you do, it probably won't work out well for you eventually, one way or another. And you might find yourself miserable. Do it for the tool of money. Do it for the ability to be a humanitarian. Do it because something has to replace the wicked, evil system that's already in place. And then after you've done it all, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share my videos, and come back. I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day.